Okay. All right.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure to share. And after 6 years of being on it, it's always a real pleasure to put the dots together and figure out, oh my gosh, I don't have this anymore. I don't have that anymore. But we'll go back 6 years ago when I met Dr. David Silverman and Dorothy and Deland, and we went to learn about this. And ironically, at the very same time, I had signed up to play in the first senior women's open golf championship that they were having because the qualifier was very close to here. Now, I hadn't played a lot in the last 23 years before that. And I was just gonna see how it goes, kind of thing. So we started drinking it, and a month into it, I was on the driving range, and I just kind of went, "Oh my gosh, I feel like I did 30 years ago when I was playing all the time." So that was kind of my first, I think this is doing something moment. And then I kept, playing a lot more often and hitting balls and walking to get in shape. And in 3 months after that, I went to have blood work. And I walked in the office and my doctor says, "Wow, your blood work's better." I'm like, "Really?" And my blood lipid level thing went from 220 to 175. So I just held up the pouch of the drink. I said, "I'm drinking this stuff." I didn't know that much about it. And she looked at it, and of course, she just went, "Okay, whatever." So, but in the meantime, over the last 6 years, my dental cleanings have been better. My gums don't bleed when they clean my teeth. My pockets are better. I used to have annual sinus infections, and I used to use a lot of nasal spray that everyone knows is not good for you to use, but I wanted to breathe. So I probably had some damage from that too. So I hadn't used any of that in the last 6 years I've been on this. I can't, I haven't had to go into CVS or some kind of pharmacy and get anything over the counter. And I used to use a lot of stuff over the counter. So that's kind of nice. And the more, the more that I think about it, we all have this what runs in your family kind of thing. And I know by younger than my age that I am now, my father had heart bypass surgery and both parents had heart disease. So always that's a concern, always. I go to a cardiologist annually, and every year he's like, "I'm really proud of you. You're doing so well." And I'm not on any medications. And I just ran our Me Strong race in DeLand and broke my time by 2 minutes this year. And I'm older. So I was kind of excited about that too. Now I'm going to have to run more to break it again next year, but we'll get there. So I enjoy any kind of other physical activity, like when you do a new sport or something that you haven't done. I can remember specifically I went kayaking on those single boat things, and you're doing this for 2 hours. And especially it was thunderstorming, and I was doing it a lot faster to get back in off the river. Um, I said, "Oh my God, the next day I can't, I'm going to be hurting." I was fine. I didn't feel anything. We just played pickleball last week. Then I didn't have anything different feeling in my body afterwards. So that's kind of those things you just have to put together, that there's a reason I'm not feeling bad after trying something new. So I think that's pretty much what I was going to share for today, unless you have any other questions or like how
That's
much you drink.
yeah. So I was going to ask how much you started with and how much you're drinking now.
Um, we started with the 2 and 2, and but we've learned since when you do stress your body more, and especially now when I do playing golf tournaments and stuff, I might drink some before, some in the middle of like 9 holes. And of course, when I'm done, so minimally, I'm probably at 8 ounces a day anyway, regardless. And that's an age thing, right? Because I'm a little bit over 50. I got my Medicare card this year. It's so funny. I said I'm too young for that, but I'll take it.
I know the feeling very well. And Nancy, also you use the skincare as well, don't you? And remind me, which of the nutraceuticals do you use?
Okay, so the skincare, when that came out, hey, I'm out in the sun, the hot sun, a lot. And um, I started using that immediately. And I've had some people comment, well, you don't look like, you've been out in the sun for over 50 years, like some of my other friends I've seen from the golf tour. It's almost like they're disfigured their skin so much from all the sun damage. So I took a partnership to the LPGA with the CIA on 3 points that, hey, do you want an athletic advantage? Do you want to play without discomfort? And do you want some skin rejuvenation from all that sun exposure? So that's a no-brainer, I think, that one, but you know.
Yeah. And one other thing, you're using the gel quite a bit, and you've brought that to the professional golf world. And that is major. And people are seeing the results, and you're a big part of that whole movement.
Well, the golfers are just as like everybody else. Some get it, some don't want to hear about it. And, they have to be educated, and that's why we're here.
Well, thank you so much. That's great. And I'm sure I'll be talking to you later and maybe play pickleball too. Okay, let's just move on. And next up, we have David Tumbas, who is from Virginia, and he's a very good friend of mine too. And just grateful he's here. David, can you, let's see, unmute? Are you able to do that? I hope here. And let's see. There you are. Are you able to unmute? Let's see. Not sure. I'm unmuting you here.
There we go.
There we go. All right.
I think we're fine.
Great. Tell us your story, please.
Well, good morning, and thank you, Dorothy and Nancy. Thank you for providing us with the great experiences that you've had. Well, my life before Redox was taking care of others. I was a certified athletic trainer, working with professional athletes with the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Chicago Cubs. I did that for 22 years. And then as an administrator for a large healthcare system in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I negotiated contracts and with the sole purpose of providing care to recreational, high school, collegiate, and professional athletes. So that was, again, taking care of others was a big part of my life. What I dealt with during my lifetime was, probably not getting enough rest, having some diet challenges because I traveled so much, long work hours, especially in the field of professional sports, stress, grief, skin irritations, and then some muscle weaknesses around an abdominal issue. After taking Redox, I'm sleeping better. I have more energy. I can tackle life's daily challenges better. I feel I can do that much better. My skin irritations have gone, completely disappeared in some instances, and improved in others. My hair grows more, and that my barber loves that. I've noticed that my fingernails grow faster and are much harder than they've ever been before. And really, I'm quicker to gain relief in dealing with the muscle discomfort that I face on occasion. Yeah, I was introduced to Redox by Sue Devine, who I really owe a debt of gratitude to. She knew my background in professional sports. She knew that I was well connected in medicine, and I was able to help her even with my connections. But she helped me so much more, and she provided a kind of a casual approach to it, and began educating me, providing research. She provided opportunities for me to meet others within the redox family, and then they further educated me. Those connections were invaluable, and I started thinking differently. Again, I was in professional sports, so we had the list of the best doctors around. We had the treatment protocols, we had the equipment, but I started thinking differently, and to my surprise, I really realized how redox might be able to help me. So really, for the first year, I did well on 4 ounces, and I'm probably at the 4 to 6 ounce range now, and that was after 1 year of taking it 4 ounces. In my second year, I'm more on the 4 to 6. There are days that maybe stresses up a little bit, or I'm doing more activities in the yard or what have you. I take 8. Maybe at 3 o'clock in the morning, I get up and I take a shot of redox. So I've adjusted, and I've learned that kind of more is better. And I use redox in the spray bottle. I've used that in my eyes. I've used it on toes. I've used it on just my skin with some those skin irritations I mentioned. I take an eyedropper and put it in my eyes just to kind of refresh my eyes. The Renew is part of me, again, with maybe some muscular discomfort or again, the skin irritations. The Cell Performance products that I use from the redox end of mind, mood, and energy. You know, I say to Sue, I'm going to get my mind right, and I take it, and I think it works well across all spectrums. So I really don't know what a day would be without redox. I take it daily. I've enjoyed the experience. I'm thankful to Sue, for introducing me to redox. And my body heals better, and it heals faster. And that's my story.
That's a great story. And and especially knowing that you've come from traditional medicine, you've come from Western medicine. And I remember, I'm very dear, you're both dear to me, both you and Sue. And I remember her sharing with me that she didn't know quite how to introduce it to you and what you would think. And, and I'm sure it took a bit of mind opening and, not just tossing that aside. Am I correct?
You're correct. I mean, you think about it in professional sports, and Nancy would know this, a salesperson comes in, a player gets something from someone, and now everyone in the clubhouse or locker room wants to take it, or they ask you to research it. Well, we had that flow of people that came in, and we had fans come in when someone would maybe have a hamstring injury and say, "Here, rub this on there and they'll get better." Well, so we had to be skeptical. We had to be cautious. We had to do our research. And Sue just alleviated a lot of that concern. And, again, so I started out slow. I tried it. I tasted it. Oh, I wasn't sure about it. Maybe a month went along. But then, I got back to it. And again, thinking outside, thinking not traditional medicine. And again, here I am today, and I feel so much better.
Welcome to the family. It's so great to hear your story, and it's going to impact a lot of people. And Nancy, both you and David, I'm just grateful you're here. So let me also just make a disclaimer. We do not claim to heal or cure anything. Redox is something that is native to the body, and we make less as we get older, and we're simply replenishing our supply and allowing the body to do what it's naturally meant to do, and that is heal itself. So at this point, I am going to stop the recording, and let's see, I need to, let's see. Oh, wait, I didn't stop it. Hold on one second.